in 2022 per the NCRB data. But safety, that's murkier. Lynchings, encounters and demolitions paint a different picture. And then there's the Samajwadi Party firing back today, saying neither Hindus nor Muslims nor anyone's daughters are safe under Yogi's watch. It's a fiery counter. But let's ask, where was this outrage when SP was in power in Uttar Pradesh? Communal clashes spiked under their rule. Think Muzaffarnagar 2013. So can they really claim the moral high ground now? Or is it this just political point scoring while UP's people dodge the debris and the mobs? Tonight, we are digging into the meat of it. Is Yogi's claim a sincere reassessment, in fact, or a sly rebrand of a hardline stance? Does his Hindus keep Muslims safer line hold water? Or is it a patronizing pact that ignores lynchings and nameplate tensions? Now, Yogi Adityanath's latest statements have ignited a political firestorm. The opposition is calling out the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister, accusing him of using rhetoric to dodge real impacting issues to Muslims in the state. Now, the Chief Minister claims that Uttar Pradesh has been riot-free since 2017. That's the claim that he is making as per his unity pitch. Here's the counter that's coming in from the opposition and especially the Samajwadi Party, which is firing back and saying that why not focus on development instead. Now, the next claim that Yogi Adityanath goes on to make is, of course, he says that if Hindus are safe, then Muslims are safe too. So this is Yogi Adityanath doubling down and claiming this, while there is a counter that's coming in from Samajwadi Party and the opposition dismissing this as a mere diversion. Now, Yogi Adityanath is going on to further assert his point, and he goes and says that Muslims, in fact, are safest in the state of Uttar Pradesh, while opposition is saying, why go ahead and dig up old graves? And now this, of course, can also be claimed as they mentioning about this entire interpretation and hinting at the furor around Aurangzeb's grave, which they claim is like stirring ghosts of history to haunt today's politics. Now, if we further look at Yogi Adityanath government in the state of Uttar Pradesh, how on several occasions in the past, they have claimed to support Muslim communities through financial allocations and welfare programs. While critics could argue that these efforts are more about optics than real impact, pointing to persistent issues like unemployment, educational gaps, and also economic marginalization, the government really continues to tout its outreach. So here's a look at some of the initiatives under Yogi Adityanath. So if you take a look at the first one, in December 2017, there was a sum of 75 crore rupees that was allotted for marriages of Muslim women. So that was in support at the financial aid for wedding expenses under a welfare scheme. Then we later take a look at September 2019. There was a sum of annually 6,000 crore assistance. Assistance was announced for Muslim women impacted by the practice of instant triple talaq following the ban on it eventually. So 6,000 annually was given to these Muslim women. Later, if we take a look at the year 2020, in the month of February, there was an allocation of 784 crore rupees for education, specifically in minority-dominated areas. That was done to improve that educational infrastructure in these areas. Later in September, in the year 2022, we are now looking at 50 crore rupees that was allocated for healthcare in these minority-dominated areas. So this is what is happening as far as these allocations are concerned. But the opposition, of course, questions whether these initiatives genuinely uplift the community or merely serve as political placation. So we are asking today, from batenge to katenge to now Yogi Adityanath's Muslims a safe pitch, is this claim a fact or mere facade?
उत्तर प्रदेश में मुसलमान सबसे ज़्यादा सुरक्षित है, सबसे ज़्यादा सुरक्षित है। अगर हिंदू सुरक्षित है तो वह भी सुरक्षित है। 100 मुस्लिम परिवारों के बीच में 50 हिंदू सुरक्षित रह सकता है क्या? नहीं रह सकता। अब बांग्लादेश आपके सामने उदाहरण है, इससे पहले पाकिस्तान उदाहरण था, अफगानिस्तान में क्या हुआ था।
ऐसा तो नहीं कि उनकी कुर्सी डगमगा रही हो, इसलिए वो कह रहे हो कि हमारे सब भाईचारा बहुत अच्छा है।
Today, Yogi Adityanath has said that Muslims are safe in UP, and in fact, if Hindus are safe, Muslims will always remain safe.
मैं उन्हें साफ कहता हूं, ये सवाल तो मुसलमानों से पूछें, उनके प्रतिनिधियों से पूछें, उनके सांसदों से पूछें।
Let's take it across to my guests on the broadcast who are joining us on Plain Speak this evening. Guru Prakash Paswan, national spokesperson of the BJP, is with us. Also with us is a political analyst Nikhil Jain. Also joining us is Mr. Kapish Srivastava, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. And last but not the least, we have senior journalist R. Rajgopalan also join us on the broadcast. So, gentlemen, let me begin this conversation talking about this latest pitch of Yogi Adityanath. Nikhil Jain, let me begin with you since Congress is refusing to join us on this particular debate. How do you see this latest statement by Yogi Adityanath? Would you see this as a sharp contrast from his past stance, or it is on the same lines?
Yeah, the way I see it is when it comes to the RSS, the BJP and the entire ideological combine that propounds for a certain ideology that seeks to, isolate a certain section of the society and citizenry from the rest. I think it is in sync with what they do. It's an oscillating stance. They can't. At the end of the day, India is a secular democratic country. The world has its eyes on us, so they cannot say we hate Muslims every single day. So one day you'll have a statement from the RSS chief or from Yogi Adityanath or from Narendra Modi or from Amit Shah that would praise Muslims or say that we do X, Y, Z good things for Muslims. And the other day they would, go on making the kind of rabid communal statements that they do. So I don't look into it much. What I would judge the Yogi Adityanath government on is the actions that it takes, is the rule of law that they uphold, and for their leaders, including the chief minister himself, to not make the kind of rabid statements that he's made in the past. If he's willing to change his stance and from now on, moving forward, he is going to act as a secular CM as he should, I would very widely welcome it. I gladly welcome it, but I think it remains to be seen.
Okay, Kapish जी, आप अग्री करेंगे कि ये थोड़ा चेंज इन स्टैंस है या फिर वो आउटरीच कर रहे हैं मुस्लिम कम्युनिटी की तरफ, या आप उसको इसी तरह से देखते हैं जिस तरह से वो पहले भी बयान दे चुके हैं माइनॉरिटी कम्युनिटी के खिलाफ?
देखिए, माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी संवैधानिक पद पर बैठे हैं और साथ ही साथ वो महंत और संत भी हैं, लेकिन उनकी भाषा से वो लगता नहीं है कि न तो वो महंत की बोली बोलते हैं और ना ही वो मुख्यमंत्री की बोली बोलते। आप आखिर बताएं कि मुख्यमंत्री की सीट पर बैठ करके क्या आप ये कह सकते हैं कि मथुरा के अंदर हम न्यायालय का आदेश मान रहे हैं, वरना वहां तो बहुत कुछ हो गया होता। क्या कुछ हो गया होता? उनको तो बताना चाहिए था ना कि वो क्या कैसी धमकी दे रहे हैं मुख्यमंत्री के पद पर बैठकर। तो उन्हें इस चीजों से बचना चाहिए। और दूसरी चीज, डेवलपमेंट की बात ना करके आप सिर्फ एक मुख्यमंत्री होने के बाद भी आप कहते हैं कि हिंदू सुरक्षित है तो आप भी सुरक्षित हैं। आप बांट के क्यों देख रहे हैं? आपको तो मुख्यमंत्री के पद पर बैठे हैं, आपको बांटना क्यों पड़ रहा है कि अगर हिंदू सुरक्षित है तो मुस्लिम भी सुरक्षित है? अरे कहिए हमारे उत्तर प्रदेश के सभी नागरिक सुरक्षित है। इस विजन से वो क्यों नहीं देखना चाहती? क्योंकि उनको सेकुलरिज्म से नफरत है, वो पंथ निरपेक्षता को मानने के लिए तैयार नहीं। और ये भी मैं आपको कह सकता हूँ कि वर्तमान समय में जो उनकी कुर्सी को खतरा उत्पन्न हो गया है, उसे साक्षात्कार से ढकने की कोशिश की जा रही है। आप फायर ब्रांड बनने की क्या आवश्यकता? आप तो उस पद पे बैठे ही हुए और 11 साल बाद हमारे माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी आरएसएस की मीटिंग में जाने वाले भी। उससे पहले योगी जी का ये बयान भी आ चुका है कि हम सत्ता छोड़ने के लिए तैयार हैं, हम गोरखपुर वापस अपने मठ लौट जाएंगे। तो सबसे बड़ी चीज ये है कि आपको डराने की राजनीति छोड़ देनी चाहिए। आप 80 और 20 की अगर राजनीति करेंगे तो 80 के साथ आप खड़े कहाँ हैं? आप तो सिर्फ 20 के साथ खड़े, ना तो आप पीडीए के साथ खड़े। कहाँ खड़े? पीडीए ही तो है 80%। आप तो 20% के लोगों, आप इनका मंत्रिमंडल उठा करके देख लीजिए कि ब्राह्मण और क्षत्रिय और वैश्य, और खाली पीडीए में 8%, पीडीए 8% और बाकी ये 3 है। उठा करके इनके 72
चलिए,
मुख्यमंत्रियों
आप जो पहला पॉइंट बोल रहे थे उसके लिए एक जवाब चाह रही हूँ गुरु प्रकाश पासवान से। गुरु प्रकाश पासवान, the claim that Yogi Adityanath goes on to make while he is asserting that Muslims are safe in Uttar Pradesh and in turn in India is also because the Hindus are safe. Why does he have to go ahead and make this analogy and make this claim? Is he pitting Hindus as the linchpin as far as the social fabric is concerned? Why this Hindu dominance that he continues to speak about? So clearly there is nothing different in the last statements that he has made to now.
I was patiently listening to your initial set of observations and my friend Nikhil and Kapish ji, and in your initial set of observation you used three words, reassessment, realignment and patronizing. I think we must look at what the central government and what the Uttar Pradesh government has done in the last 10 years, and absolutely there are data, there are evidences to suggest that since 2017 there have been no major communal clashes under the administration of Yogi Adityanath.
Which I said.
Point number two, there was a recent data by can I?
Yes, please go ahead.
Please allow me, like you allowed my friends from the other side. A very important data came recently, the Economic Advisory Council to the Prime Minister, the EACPM, that did an analysis of the demographic shift in India's religious population from 1950 to 2015. So it's a matter of 75 years. So the share of Muslim population has risen from 9% to 15%, marking an increase of about 43% over the same period. Point number one. So in a country where Muslims are not feeling safe, why is there a massive increase in population? I think any logic, any academic argument is sufficient to establish that Muslims are more than happy, are more than safe in a country like India. The recent Pew Research data also suggested similar lines. Data number two. We have seen, and it has been quoted from a Hindustan Times report, that in terms of welfare schemes of Uttar Pradesh government, higher than population representation in welfare schemes. While Muslims constitute 17 to 18% of Uttar Pradesh's population, Yogi Adityanath government data clearly shows that of the all beneficiaries of the government, 30 to 35% beneficiaries are from the Muslim community. So we have to understand. अब मुझे आप थोड़ा मौका दीजिएगा, जो हमारे समाजवादी पार्टी के साथी हमारे ऊपर आरोप लगा रहे थे कि हमारे कैबिनेट में कितने पीडीए हैं।
Before you do that, Guru Prakash Paswan, before you do that, you spoke about population increase as far as the Muslim community is concerned. How is that akin to whether they feel threatened or do not feel threatened? Because in my introduction, I also laid out certain other points which have the which is giving the Muslim community more than enough reasons to believe and feel threatened in a society which is now being bred, especially if we only talk about the state of Uttar Pradesh. I have backed it up with many examples, including the NCRB data, which also claims that riots are nil in 2022 under Yogi Adityanath. So while we also look at that, what about the other aspects? What about the lynchings? What about the bulldozer action? What about the encounters?
I'm coming to that, if you allow me to respond to my friend from the Samajwadi Party as well. So my friend from the Samajwadi Party said that Uttar Pradesh में योगी आदित्यनाथ जी की सरकार की कैबिनेट में एक दो जाति के लोग हैं. For the first time in the history of उत्तर प्रदेश, मैं पूरे दावे के साथ कहता हूँ और चुनौती देके कहता हूँ, पहली बार उत्तर प्रदेश के कैबिनेट में जब यूपी में योगी आदित्यनाथ जी की सरकार बनी थी तो 3 दलित समाज की महिलाओं को मंत्री बनाया गया था. विजय लक्ष्मी जी, गुलाब देवी जी,
बेबी रानी मौर्य जी, आपने देखा होगा कि मैंने उनको वहां पे रोका था because I don't want the debate to digress to that topic. Here I am asking you a simple thing. There was a statement that was made by Yogi Adityanath where he said the safety of Muslims depends on the safety of Hindus. How does one see this particular statement? I want your clear and honest response on this, sir. I have been clear and honest, and I think your viewers are the better judge of that. An allegation has been raised, a question has been raised by an opposition party. I have every right to answer, I have every right to respond to that question. If you allow me only 10 seconds, I will finish that question. मेरे सवाल का जवाब दीजिए, उसके बाद आप
नहीं, आपने उन्होंने पूरा किया था,
उसका जवाब दिया नहीं ना सर.
मैं नहीं करना चाहता हूँ. नहीं, मैं आपके जवाब पे भी आ रहा हूँ, लेकिन उन्होंने कहा है उन्होंने कहा कि हमारे कैबिनेट में सिर्फ ब्राह्मण और क्षत्रिय हैं. मैं उनको याद दिलाना चाहता था कि पहली बार उत्तर प्रदेश के कैबिनेट में 3 दलित समाज की महिलाएं हैं और दलित समाज की महिलाओं के लिए समाजवादी पार्टी का क्या रवैया रहता है, यह ऐतिहासिक तौर पर स्पष्ट हो चुका है. मैं आपके बीच में नहीं बोल रहा था, मैं बीच में बोलना है क्या? Are we going to derail the debate or are we having a civil
Mr.
conversation?
Paswan, make
Thank you
it
so
quick.
much.
कपिश जी,
No,
आपके
अभी
पास
अभी-
आऊंगी। कपिश जी, आपके पास आऊंगी, आपको मैंने रोका नहीं था।
के अंदर आपको ये सारी
कपिश जी,
बातें
मैं
दिखा
आपके
सकता
पास
हूं।
आऊंगी, गुरुजी को पहले अपनी बात कहने दीजिए। यस मिस्टर पासवान।
वो समाजवादी पार्टी के अपने संस्कार हैं, but please let us have a civil debate. Now coming to your question, if there is an increase in population, what does it suggest? The Pew Research data has categorically stated that Muslims are happy in India. Only if a community is happy, only if a community is feeling secure, only if a community is feeling safe, their population increases. The majority population, or you have examples from the other countries as well, the demographic shift, the demographic transition of 43% increase in the Muslim population from 1950 to 2015 categorically state that they are safe and secure.
This is cherry picking on the narrative that suits you. Earlier it was that the Muslim population is increasing because this is illegal influx. Now you are saying they are procreating because they are happy and they feel safe. Just choose which narrative does the BJP choose to stick by.
Cherry picking is your word. I am speaking on behalf of data. The report has been published. The report is in the public domain of EAC Prime Minister. The report is in the public domain published by Hindustan Times. Okay. I am just quoting that data, and I think I have every right to quote that data. Last 10 seconds, please.
That is
Last
your
10 seconds,
reason.
please.
That is your
Rampur
reason
and Azamgarh.
where you claim that Muslims feel safe in the country. Yes, Rampur and Azamgarh. Go
This
on.
is what the observation of the court is.
Okay.
Rampur and Azamgarh Muslim majority seats. Who has won those seats? The Bharatiya Janata Party. For the first time in the history of Uttar Pradesh, I again say this with a lot of confidence, and I challenge my friends from the other political parties. Danish Rizwan Ansari, a Pasmanda has become a cabinet minister in Uttar Pradesh. A Pasmanda has become a vice chancellor of Aligarh Muslim University. A Pasmanda are getting highest share of representation when it comes to institution, when it comes to universities. So when we speak of Muslim, you must also include Muslim women. You must also include marginalized section of women. 40% more sisters from Muslim community are going to higher education institutions.
The gross they are only targeting the marginalized lot of the community, and hence you only talk about the Pasmanda Muslims and not others, and to an extent the women. But let me actually bring in Mr. R. Rajgopalan on the broadcast. He's been patiently listening to all the other speakers who have joined us. Mr. R. Rajgopalan, I saw you smile when the Samajwadi Party spokesperson was quoting a certain data. Please go ahead. How would you choose to counter the claims that SP is making on this?
I have known Mr. Mulayam Singh Yadav, Netaji, very well. Chaudhry Charan Singh days onwards, I have been following the Uttar Pradesh politics. Apart from that, Griha, what Mr. Yogi Adityanath said is the truth. It has been reflected very well by the voters, especially in Uttar Pradesh, Gujarat, Haryana, Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh and other places during civic election polls last month. The BJP has won in Muslim areas. As Paswan mentioned about Pasmanda, the Hyderabad General Council meeting of BJP has ensured that we must help Pasmanda Muslims. Therefore, Article 370 abrogation, triple talaq and other issues have helped the Muslim community. Hajj pilgrims, why Paswan did not mention this, I do not know. Hajj pilgrims, women, 4,000 women have been chosen, first time in the history of Union government and also Uttar Pradesh government. That is why Mr. Yogi Adityanath says Muslims are safer. That is also reflected in the crime data bureau. So apart from that, if you compare it, अराजकता से अस्मिता हुआ है करके what Mr. Yogi Adityanath said is absolutely right. That is why BSP, Bahujan Samajwadi Party, has been sidelined. In 2022 election, Samajwadi Party was sidelined. Yogi Adityanath won over second time, and he's going to win in 2027 third time also, because Muslim voters are voting for BJP. That is why RSS leader said, Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, हर मंदिर के नीचे मस्जिद नहीं देखना है. This type of narrative is also following in that. Finally, what Mr. Narendra Modi has adopted is सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास. That is also reflected what Yogi Adityanath said. And moreover, Samajwadi Party has been depending on vote bank Muslims. That has been shattered by Mr. Yogi. That Samajwadi Party.
Mr. Rajgopalan, while you say that, there was another analogy that Yogi Adityanath went on to make, and that was countries like Bangladesh, Pakistan and Afghanistan. I want to understand why go outside of India. When we are talking about if Hindus are safe, Muslims will be safe, then why not look at the Gujarat 2002 example? Why not look at Delhi riots 2020 example? What was the majority community in play at that time? Hindus are very much safe. What happened to the minority community in these two specific states if this is the narrative that Yogi Adityanath is choosing to stick by?
I will answer that. The
Yes.
Samajwadi Party, Congress Party, all depended on Muslim bank as a vote bank politics. That is why they did it. The entire Arajagata was created by Samajwadi Party during UP elections. That is why Bahujan Samajwadi has
You're
been
not
silent.
answering my question. I asked you something else, Mr.
Gurudwara
Rajgopal.
I'm coming to the point. I'm coming to the point. Therefore, my understanding is in Bangladesh, why Hindus are being driven out? Tell me. Is India, the Muslims are being driven out? No. In Pakistan, there is no.
I again ask you, what happened in Gujarat? What happened in Delhi in
Gujarat, the
2020?
Prime Minister has clarified it very well. Gujarat is a man, the man-made disaster, man-made violence.
Okay.
It was done by one particular community. Therefore, Gujarat cannot be compared with Bangladesh, madam. My understanding is of Yogi Adityanath spelling out clearly that his permanent policies are safe and safe.
Well, here's where I again want to use the word cherry picking, but let me go back to Kapish ji. Kapish ji, Samajwadi Party, it's very rich of the Samajwadi Party to accuse the BJP. आप तो fingers point करेंगे योगी आदित्यनाथ के खिलाफ, आपके opposition में हैं, आप you've lost power to the Bharatiya Janata Party in your state. But what about riots that have happened under you? मुजफ्फरनगर 2013 कौन भूल सकता है?
बहुत अच्छा याद दिलाया, लेकिन उसके पहले मैं कि योगी आदित्यनाथ जी ने ये कहा कि जहां तायत हैं वहां हिंदू सुरक्षित नहीं। और योगी आदित्यनाथ जी जिस मठ में रहते हैं, मैं भी उसी गोरखपुर का हूं, उनसे 2 किलोमीटर दूर रहता हूं। अगल बगल की पूरी आबादी अल्पसंख्यकों की है। योगी आदित्यनाथ जी बचपन में ही मठ में आ गए थे और तब से लेकर के आज स्वयं सुरक्षित से भले वो सांसद ना रहे या महंत ना रहे, तो ये कहने वाली बात है। ये तुष्टीकरण की राजनीति भारतीय जनता पार्टी को 80% वोट लेने के नियत से आती है कि भाई इन्हें कुछ अपग्रेड कीजिए, को तो आस्थावान बना करके ये लूट लिया है। तो एक बात तो ये है। दूसरी चीज, बांग्लादेश में अगर अल्पसंख्यक हिंदू है और उसके साथ इस तरीके की नरसंहार चल रहा था, तो भारतीय जनता पार्टी की मोदी सरकार क्यों बैठी हुई थी? क्यों उसने रिएक्ट क्यों नहीं किया? आपको अपनी सेना भेजनी चाहिए थी, सनातनियों को कटने के लिए छोड़ दिया। जो दावा किया जाता है कि नरेंद्र मोदी जी की वजह से जो है वो टल गया था, वो बहुत कुछ उन्होंने सॉल्व कर दिया, तो क्या वो बांग्लादेश के अंदर सनातनी हिंदुओं की सुरक्षा नहीं कर सकते?
Guru Prakash Paswan, you wanted to make a quick point. You wanted to make a quick point, and also I would want you to answer this while you are at it. You accuse the Congress and other members of the opposition of appeasement. The Karnataka example is quite close on the heels of this entire debate. What was said by D.K. Shivakumar, what is happening under Siddaramaia's rule. But why is that same logic not applying to the BJP in this case? Why suddenly has this statement been made by Yogi Adityanath? Is this not an outreach of the Muslim community?
So there are multiple questions in your single question, and let me give some time to respond to it. I would strongly recommend your viewers to just go through a letter of resignation which has been written by Baba Saheb Ambedkar to the then Prime Minister Nehru. Ambedkar says, and I quote, addressing Prime Minister Nehru, that you are taking particular interest in the safety of Muslims, you are taking particular interest in the development of Muslims, for you as if there is no existence of scheduled caste, for you as if there is no existence of Dalits in the country. This is what Ambedkar is mentioning in his letter to Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru, in his letter of resignation in 1950. This is the reference. Now come to 2007, the Prime Minister of the country in the Congress government going on record and saying this on record is देश के संसाधनों पे पहला हक देश के minorities का है, minorities में भी Muslim minorities का है. Come to 2025, a Congress leader who is at a senior government position in a state of Karnataka saying that अगर जरूरत पड़ी तो हम संविधान में परिवर्तन को भी तैयार हैं for 4% Muslim reservation which will cut the share of SC, ST and OBCs. The Congress party here has to make up its mind. It can be either minority appeasement or social justice. Minority appeasement or social justice cannot coexist, period. Point number 2, our Samajwadi Party friend was mentioning about Bangladesh. Bangladesh में क्या हुआ, उत्तर प्रदेश में क्या हुआ, मैं आपसे कहना चाहता हूँ.
You still not answered why is that appeasement and why what Yogi Adityanath is doing is not appeasement. You've missed out that part conveniently.
For us. No, I did not miss. I did not. You asked me about the Congress's appeasement, so I just thought it would be appropriate.
I asked you if that is appeasement, then why is this statement not being treated as one?
You asked me about appeasement. You asked me particularly about Congress's appeasement.
You're not going to tell me what I asked. I am reiterating my question. If you misread my question, you can answer it again.
No, I'm just. Will you? Are you going to interfere on every 5 seconds?
You're not asking me. Answering the question that I asked.
No, I'm. Bhai, you asked me a question and I have the right to respond to that question.
Please respond.
आपने बोला कांग्रेस अपीसमेंट करती है. आपने कहा कांग्रेस अपीसमेंट करती है. मैंने आपको इतिहास के आधार पे कहा 2007 का मनमोहन सिंह का भाषण बताया.
Nikhil Jain, there is a question that's been raised on the Congress party. I'm very short on time now.
This is not done.
You are going about in circles, Guru Prakash Paswan. I can't give you enough time.
I'm sorry, this is not done.
I am sorry,
this is not done. You can give me 10 seconds uninterrupted. This is not done.
You have not answered my question.
I resist.
All right, Nikhil has not answered. He's been quiet for a while.
This is not done.
I want him to respond to what have you said about the Congress party.
This is my resistance.
Nikhil Jain,
this is my resistance. I resist. I resist. This is my resistance.
Nikhil Jain,
ऐसे नहीं होता है.
There has been things said. Yes, please go ahead. Please go ahead, Nikhil Jain.
Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't hear your question over.
Yeah, we are talking about appeasement politics. This is a charge against the Congress party. Now, similar charges are being leveled against the Bharatiya Janata Party in the name of the statement that's been made by Yogi Adityanath.
See, Griha, this is nothing but sheer hypocrisy on the part of the BJP, because whenever some statements or government benefits are given to the Muslims, when it happens at the hands of a government run by the BJP says the Muslims are safe, 30 to 35% of the benefits are being given to the Muslims. But if the same would have happened in a Congress state, they would have called it appeasement. So far as the 4% Muslim reservation that Guru is talking about, let me also tell him that it is not just 4% Muslim reservation. First of all, it's a category 2B reservation, which is for 4%. Then there is 17% reservation for Dalits, 7% for scheduled
towards
tribes.
Karnataka.
And
what I'm asking is about Yogi Adityanath, so
others.
we will have to actually leave it there. There is a statement that has been made by the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister. While he claims that Muslims in the state of Uttar Pradesh and in turn in India are safe, he also backs it up saying that it is only because Hindus are safe. So that's how he says that majority follows the minority, and he's sticking by that stance, and that is creating that kind of furor and arguments that it's generating from the opposition. We leave it at that. On the other side, we have another debate coming in from Tamil Nadu as a leader of opposition and AIADMK General Secretary NPK Palaniswamy has met with Union Home Minister Amit Shah and also the Delhi BJP Chief JP Nadda. Is this a big political reunion loading ahead of 2026 Tamil Nadu elections is the big question that we are asking. Stay with us for that on the other side. The big statement that has been made by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, who has now said that people of all religions are safe in the state and that if Hindus are safe, Muslims in Uttar Pradesh are safe too. He was speaking exclusively to news agency ANI, where Yogi Adityanath asserted that as a yogi, he wishes for everyone's happiness and highlighted the tolerant nature of Hindus, saying that a Muslim family would feel safe among hundreds of Hindu families. However, 50 Hindu families might not feel safe among hundreds of Muslim families, and that Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Pakistan are examples of the same. Meanwhile, the opposition has now hit out at Yogi Adityanath, calling this an attempt to divert attention from real issues. Let's listen in to the latest war of words first.
100 हिंदू परिवारों के बीच में 100 हिंदू परिवारों के बीच में एक मुस्लिम परिवार सबसे सुरक्षित रहता है। उसको इसके पर्व और त्योहारों को, उसको अपने सभी मजहबी कर्मों को करने के लिए, या जिस मत और मजहब या संप्रदाय या सेक्ट का अनुयायी होगा उसको उस परंपरा के अनुसार अपने सारे धार्मिक मान्यताओं या उपासना विधि को पूरी स्वतंत्रता होती है। लेकिन मैं कहता हूं 100 परिवारों के बीच में, एक हिंदू की बात तो दूर करिए, 100 मुस्लिम परिवारों के बीच में 50 हिंदू सुरक्षित रह सकता है क्या? नहीं रह सकता। अब बांग्लादेश आपके सामने उदाहरण है, इससे पहले पाकिस्तान उदाहरण था, अफगानिस्तान में क्या हुआ था। ये चीजें दिखाती हैं और होशियारी यही है कि कहीं धुआं उड़ रहा हो या किसी को ठोकर लग रही हो तो हमें ठोकर लगे इससे पहले हम संभल जाएं। उत्तर प्रदेश में मुसलमान सबसे ज्यादा सुरक्षित है, सबसे ज्यादा सुरक्षित है। अगर हिंदू सुरक्षित है तो वह भी सुरक्षित है। अगर दंगे यहां यूपी में होते थे जो 2017 के पहले, अगर हिंदू की दुकान जलती थी तो मुसलमान की भी जलती थी, हिंदू का घर जलता था तो मुसलमान की भी जलती थी। और 17 के बाद से दंगे बंद हुए। अगर हिंदू सुरक्षित है तो मुसलमान भी सुरक्षित है।
हमारे मुख्यमंत्री जी ये बताएं, उनकी कुर्सी सुरक्षित है कि नहीं है? कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि हिंदू मुसलमान की जो अब सुरक्षा की भावना जाग रही है, कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि उनकी कुर्सी डगमगा रही हो? याद होगा जब उन्होंने एक बार योग किया था, कैसे एक टांग पे डगमगा रहे थे। कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि उनकी कुर्सी डगमगा रही हो, इसलिए वो कह रहे हो कि हमारे सब भाईचारा बहुत अच्छा है।
प्रदेश में हिंदू सुरक्षित है तभी मुस्लिम भी सुरक्षित रहेंगे।
नहीं, देखो, हिंदू भी सुरक्षित रहे और मुस्लिम भी सुरक्षित रहे, सभी भारतीय नागरिक सुरक्षित रहे, ये सरकार की प्राथमिकताओं में से है। और मोदी जी का सबका साथ सबका विकास सबके लिए प्रयास और सबका विश्वास का जो अभियान है वो इसी संदर्भ में है भी। और मैं समझता हूँ इसी उद्घोष का उन्होंने अपने शब्दों में इसका प्रयोग किया है। ये बात सही है कि देश में बहुसंख्यक और अल्पसंख्यक किसी भी देश में ये विरासत होते हैं और इनकी एक दूसरे के प्रति समझदारी ये आवश्यकता होती है। और ये बात सही है कि अगर हिंदू सुरक्षित है तो जाहिर सी बात है कि मुस्लिम भी सुरक्षित रहेगा, और मुस्लिम सुरक्षित है तो हिंदू भी खुश रहेगा। इसमें गलत बात कौन सी है?
ऐसा है कि ये खाली ध्यान भटकाने वाली ही बात करेंगे, क्योंकि ये आज भी नहीं बता पाएंगे कि जितने इन्होंने MOU साइन किए थे जी, वो कितने धरातल पे उतरे हैं। अगर आप इनके मॉडल को देख लेंगे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट के लिए तो सब इस पे हंसी उड़ाएंगे कि किस तरह का ये डेवलपमेंट मॉडल है जहां लाखों करोड़।
Welcome back. You're watching CNN News 18 with me, Griha, and this is Plain Speak. AIADMK boss NDP Palaniswamy or EPS has just wrapped up a high-stakes huddle with BJP heavyweights JP Nada and Amit Shah in the national capital, and the timing couldn't be more explosive. Tamil Nadu is on fire over delimitation and the three-language policy, two issues that have the state's political pot boiling over. Is this a sign the AIADMK is inching back to the BJP's NDA fold, or a desperate bid to douse the flames of a DMK onslaught in Tamil Nadu? EPS landed in Delhi and he met with Amit Shah last night, and sources also say that he pressed hard on Tamil Nadu's turf, pushing for the two-language policy to stay put and demanding funds for railway projects. This comes as the centre's delimitation plan threatens to slash Tamil Nadu's Lok Sabha seats down from 39 to maybe 31, as per the Chief Minister M.K. Stallin's warnings. While the three-language push stokes fears of Hindi imposition in a state that fiercely guarded its linguistic pride. But here's the kicker. Just months ago, EPS swore off the BJP for 2026. So why is he cozying up now? The state's a tinderbox. Stalin had called an all-party meet on March 5th to rally against delimitation with AIADMK on board. Yet, here's EPS obnorming with the BJP, who have dismissed the seat loss claims as misinformation. So the three-language rouse is very hot. DMK is slamming it as a cultural bulldozer is there, while BJP is dodging this clarity on it. Now, is this truce really a tactic or a total U-turn? Or let's just say it point blank, is EPS playing both sides, rallying against delimitation in Chennai, then cutting deals in the national capital? Now, the AIADMK and BJP alliance that was formed after J. Jayalalitha's death in 2016 had been fraught with tensions for years. The final split came in September 2023. But what led to this collapse? Let's break that down for you. Flashpoint number 1. AIADMK strongly resisted BJP's push for a uniform civil code, arguing that it threatened Tamil Nadu's cultural identity and regional autonomy. The second flashpoint that came in the midst of this alliance is that the AIADMK accused the BJP of trying to lure its MLAs, seeing it as an attempt to weaken the party's influence in Tamil Nadu. The third flashpoint. BJP's Tamil Nadu chief K. Annamalai's aggressive approach alienated the AIADMK leaders who felt that he was eroding the party's regional identity. The final blow, which is flashpoint number 4, came when BJP leaders made controversial comments on J. Jayalalitha's legacy, sparking outrage within the AIADMK ranks. Hence, we are asking today, this prospective AIADMK BJP alliance is with Palaniswamy meeting with Amit Shah and JP Nadda. Is that big political reunion on the cards?
பத்திரிகைகள் தான் போட்டுட்டு இருக்கீங்க. அப்படி எந்த இதுவும் கிடையாது. இப்போ முழுக்க மக்களுடைய பிரச்சனைக்காக தான் நாங்கள் வந்திருக்கிறோம்.
Anybody is joining us with the only aim of dethroning DMK, everybody is welcome.
He had met the Home Minister along with his MPs and others, and he says that this is not the right time to talk about alliance. There are still time.
Let me take this across to my guests who are joining us this evening. Kalyan Rama, who is the leader of Tamil Nadu BJP, is with us. Salim Dharani-Dharan, spokesperson of DMK, is also with us. And last but not the least, Sumant C. Raman, political analyst, also joins us on the broadcast. Let me begin with Kalyan Raman. Kalyan Raman, AIADMK is choosing not to be part of this discussion. But what really happened in that deliberation and that big meet with the Union Home Minister and the BJP chief?
A discussion between the Union Home Minister and the President or the General Secretary of AIADMK is a private matter that may not be discussed by either of them. In the absence of any particular information from both of them, we are not here to speculate.
Okay. Okay.
On the contrary, ADMK and BJP coming together as a potential alliance partner is a natural process. It's a natural alliance, which we all know, because in terms of both nationalism as well as spiritualism of Tamil Nadu, it was AIADMK which has always upheld these two factors which are exactly against DMK, or DMK is against those two factors, that is nationalism and spiritualism, which is the head of this country. So this alliance coming together, if it is going to happen, is a natural process, nothing much to talk about it. Okay. Number 3 is that indeed after landing in Chennai, yes, Mr. Edapadi Palanichami had indeed said that there is a time for an alliance between BJP and AIADMK, essentially indicating that he is not against it. So what is bound to happen naturally, there is nothing much to talk about. That's my initial observation.
Okay. Salim Dharani-Dharan, would you choose to respond? Because we also played out a little snippet of that reaction of the Tamil Nadu BJP chief Annamalai, where he said that any party who is against the DMK is welcome in the BJP fold. Does it not speak of the formidable force that DMK is managing to become in Tamil Nadu? If anything else, how can we read this particular meeting between BJP and AIADMK as?
So which clearly means DMK is very, very strong, and then all the other parties in Tamil Nadu are trying to cobble up together to see if they are a match. But I'll tell you this, we won 4 elections on the rope, major elections, 2019 parliament election, 2021 assembly election, 2022 municipal election, 2024 parliament election. I think it's the first time after a long time that DMK swept 2 consecutive parliament, any parties in Tamil Nadu swept 2 parliamentary elections. Last time, 2019, we got 38 on 39. This time, we got 39 on 39. which means that we are doing something right. And our vote share has consistently been between 47% to 53%. So which also means that even if we ADMK, BJP, or any other party cobble up, the vote share is going to be higher than the DMK's vote share, which only clearly seems to be on rise. In fact, the India Today survey, which came in January, shows that the vote percentage in for DMK in Tamil Nadu has increased after the union elections in 2024. That's a survey result. I think came last month. I'm not sure Jan or Feb, but it clearly says our vote percentage increased by 5%. But and also if you look at our alliance, it's an ideology-based alliance. All members of the India bloc are in this alliance of the DMK alliance, and this alliance has been consistent since 2018. As my chief minister says, it's not an alliance for elections, it's an alliance based on ideology. We have an ideology which we put forward for people, and state rights is one of the most important aspect of the alliance's ideology. And if you look at BJP ADMK's alliance, even when it started in 2017, it was started because for ADMK it helped in survival of the party. For Edapadi, it helped in him completing his terms, and for BJP, because they don't have any vote share, it's the only way that they could send 4 legislative members, MLAs, into Tamil Nadu Assembly. So it's an alliance of convenience. And then in between they thought, okay, if ADMK and BJP is going to be together, they thought they can never form the government, they can never get any seat. So then they contested separately, but they still had a communication open. They contested separately, but still they lost. They thought maybe if they contest separately, they may win 3 seats.
That's rather academic, Salim. Let me actually bring in Sumant. Sumant, I'd like to understand one simple thing. 2026, no alliance with the BJP will happen. That was the statement that came in from EPS. Then what explains this meeting?
Before that, I'm vastly amused to see Mr. Dharanidharan use the term DMK and all others are fighting against DMK. They are not fighting against DMK, they are fighting against a DMK alliance of more than 10 parties. DMK plus Congress plus CPI plus CPM plus VCK plus MMK plus IUML. I can go on and on. I mean, the whole way it is being put is everybody is ganging up against a party contesting alone. Let the DMK dare contest alone. They have not contested alone in more than 30 years. At least in 2014-16, Jayalalitha had the guts to contest alone and win. So I'm vastly amused to see this. Everybody is contesting together against DMK. They are not. The DMK is part of a formidable alliance. An alliance of more than 10 parties, including very well established, historically established parties like the Congress and the CPI and CPM and so on. So let's be very clear. The fact that the opposition was split was because was the reason they were not able to take on the DMK alliance, not the take on the DMK, take on the DMK alliance. Now there's going to be a strong alliance against. Now let's come to the issue of this BJP AIDMK coming back to the.
Yes.
See, they would never have split up. It was Mr. Annamalai who virtually single-handedly worked to wreck this alliance, called Jayalalitha names, called her corrupt and all that, and literally led to the wrecking of this alliance. Now, it has dawned on both parties that they need each other. Without coming together, they cannot take on the DMK.
So where does this leave Annamalai then? Is that what is explaining his silence?
That is a question for the BJP High Command to answer. Because one thing I can tell you, if there is no change in the state leadership of the BJP, there is no way this alliance will work on the ground. The High Command may impose, Mr. Annamalai to continue as the state president and force the AIDMK to accept it. But this alliance will not work on the ground. A more conciliatory state leader, and look, 99% of the leaders in the BJP, in the state BJP, have no problems with the AIDMK. They have very good relationship. But if the High Command feels that only this man can save BJP, then I think it is going to end up in a disaster for the alliance. The DMK will win comfortably in 2026.
Okay. Kalyan Raman, would you like to respond to this? How are you placating Annamalai in the midst of this impending decision?
You are putting him in a very embarrassing position. He cannot tell you honestly what.
No, Sumant bhai, nothing embarrassing about it, because I think everybody knows how vocal I am about my opinions within the party, inside the party and outside the party, if and when needed. So there is no question of that. It is for the central leadership to play on the subject, that the question on which you have raised. So that question is not something to be handled by the state party leaders. So keeping that aside, as Sumantji rightly put it, it is a shameful thing that last 30 years DMK never with a single-handedly, and they've always worked with multiple alliances to be in power. Okay, Jayalalitha used to call the alliance as a minority government in 2006 to 11 government, minority government. So the DMK claiming to be strong is laughable. It's a shameful thing. On the contrary, in 2014, ADMK had gone alone to grab power to win in 37 out of 39 seats. So ADMK's strength is a single-handed strength. On the contrary, DMK's strength is not, which is very well known to the DMK people. That is why they continue to remain with 10 and odd parties alliance, in which they cobble together all parties, including the minorities, the Christian factor, the Muslim factor, the SC factor, all that they factor in before forming an alliance. So DMK trying to play as if they are so strong is simply laughable. Today what is happening is that there are almost 10 counts on which the alliance has failed. The CPA is so angry against the incumbent government that the labor forces are being tortured by DMK government. Take the case of Samsung factory and the Jacto Geo fight against the government. There are so many areas they are failing. The drug mafias are ruling the roost in the whole state. The natural resources
So there is a larger question on law and order, but let me place this and put this exact question to Salim Dharanidharan, because when this entire delimitation and three-language formula, whether that should be accepted by Tamil Nadu, a strict opposition to it, when that meet was spearheaded by MK Stalin, there was a certain posturing that was done by the DMK which was anti-AIADMK. Do you think that will go on to hurt the party, considering AIADMK was very much part of the meeting? It was approving of the stance that DMK was taking, especially on delimitation?
See, AIADMK stance, the problem is their ideology is that only to hate DMK. They do not have any ideology for the Tamil people, right? If you look at DMK, the ideology is for federalism. We stand for state rights. We stand against Hindi imposition. We stand on a lot of issues, right? Any language imposition. But AIADMK has no ideology. And again, CAA, NRC, all those things, which now Edappadi Palaniswamy during 2024 did a U-turn, but their parliamentarians went and voted in the parliament, which is why they are abstained, which is why these acts were passed. Otherwise, the act would not have been passed. See, you are saying 10 parties, but 10 parties because they are all part of the DMK ideology, which is why they are together. If you look CPI, CPM, any party in the alliance, they are ideologically with us, not just in Tamil Nadu, but also in other states, right? Be it delimitation, they are with us. For example, PMK, alliance partner of BJP, in the parliamentary elections, was not.
Are you aware that 1968 and 86 in the imposition by Congress, 86 and 68, they imposed Hindi. They imposed Hindi. Please understand. They imposed Hindi. What are you talking about?
I didn't interrupt
you. Do you have an idea?
I didn't interrupt
you. Do you have an idea?
I didn't interrupt
you.
You can incorporate it in your answer. That's a good counter.
No, I didn't interrupt you.
Yes, all right, please go ahead, make your point.
Implant a wrong view.
Mr. Kalyanaraman, I'll come to you.
I will tell you this. When Congress was against state rights, DMK vehemently protested. In 1960s, we were the one who protested against the Congress. Now, what is the Congress High Command saying? They are for state rights. Now, there's no problem.
What is the two-language formula, three-language formula? What is Congress stance?
Now you come and say you are for state rights.
You don't know. You don't know anything.
Let's not only restrict it to the two-language formula. Let's also, Sumant, let me actually bring you in. Sumant, there is a claim. Gentlemen, can we have some order in this debate, please? Sumant, since there is also a lot of conjecture and claim on, and this was the word on ground, whether or not this is the common parlance in Tamil Nadu, is that for something for you to analyze, that EPS, while in that meeting with Amit Shah, is selling Tamil pride to the BJP. That is the claim that is being made generally. Is that true?
See, look, when he was in power, he didn't do anything for
both these parties have identical stance as far as the language formula is concerned. Both DMK and ADMK oppose the three-language formula. both DMK and ADMK are opposed to the delimitation in its present form. The one thing that surprises me is why the BJP, at least, is doubling down so hard on these two issues, knowing that it will lose them votes in Tamil Nadu, and there is no way that they are going to be able to push these things through before the 26 election. So that is why people like me have consistently felt that the DMK and BJP must be wanting to make each other their rivals, and there is some kind of a truck between them. So the bottom line is, for the AIADMK, this is a very, very important. For Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy, it's a do or die battle. For him, he be another defeat and he will not be able to retain control of the party. So therefore, he needs to align with as many people as possible to oust the DMK alliance. An alliance with PMK, BJP, AIADMK, DMDK, potentially the outside possibility of a party called the NTK, which has about 6 to 7% of vote in Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
Now, this is going to be a huge challenge for the DMK alliance to with the anti-incumbency. Mind you, they've been in power now for 4 years. They will be in power for 5 years before the election. So that would be an extremely difficult battle for the DMK. So, and mind you, the DMK since the 1970s has never been re-elected to power. They've never won two elections, two assembly elections back to back. So that is some reason. Whereas the AIDMK in 2016, they won 2011, they won 2016. So they have at least won two elections back to back.
Okay.
Whereas the DMK has never done that since the 1970s.
Okay, Salim, your word. Salim Dharanidharan wants to respond. Yes.
Okay, that no party has won clean sweep two parliamentary elections together after 1990. DMK also not done it, but this time in 2019 we got 38 on 39. This time we got 39 on 39. Performance has improved. India Today said our percentage vote is increasing. So the past cannot be.
But he says a huge amount of anti-incumbency. Is this a big dent on the DMK? Is what I want you to answer. Is the DMK worried about this impending alliance, if at all it does take place? Because from what I am learning through my sources, there have been certain things that have been discussed. That is no induction of Sasikala, no induction of OPS or TTV. All of this is also deliberated upon. So this is serious.
See, what I am saying is our vote share is in the percentage of 47 to 53%, which means that any alliance will cobble up together. Our vote percentage is going to be more. That's why my chief minister set a target of 200 out of 234 assembly seats. It is very clear we're going to sweep the election. So I don't care. I'm not worried about any alliance that is going to come. Right. So all basically Vijay can't join the alliance if BJP is with ADMK. And if ADMK and Vijay are joining, BJP can't join. So anyways, it's going to be a multi-dimensional contest. And then our vote share is fixed at 50%. So I don't see any way where we are going to lose the elections. It's not arithmetically possible.
Okay. Kalyan
right?
Raman,
so I'm
is the Vijay party also along with the AIADMK?
They first of all, Dharanidharan doesn't want to concede that they were defeated in all the 39 seats in 2014, which is not long ago, just 10 years back. And whatever happens is the split in the alliance between ADMK and BJP. Once they come together, the people perception is changing. The anti-incumbency in Tamil Nadu is so huge, with the drug mafia being supporters of DMK, law and order situation being bad, loot of natural resources. All that has created a huge uproar against the DMK. And the people are against DMK, the way they are playing around, the state terrorism today happening in the form of the human excretia being thrown in the house of Sauki Shankar, and the killing of one chain snatcher as if he is a huge criminal.
So essentially, Mr. Kalyan Raman, you are confirming that there is going to be an alliance with the AIADMK. I have to quickly wrap this because you have not yet signed on the dotted line. Is there going to be an alliance, or we are just reading too much into this big meeting?
Oh, see, it's simple that an alliance between ADMK and BJP is a natural alliance. That's what I can say. End of the day, it is for the national leadership to take a call. We, in principle, now believe that an alliance between ADMK and BJP is going to throw away ADMK to the tune of whatever Salim Dharanidharan is saying, 200. I will not be surprised even if they are defeated in all the 234 seats.
Okay,
This
all
is the
right. So let's
reality
see
of
if at
Tamil
all
Nadu
there
today.
is a political reunion between the BJP and AIADMK. With that, I'd like to thank all my guests for joining us on the broadcast and sharing their views on what is it going to be as far as the political landscape in Tamil Nadu now is concerned. With that, before wrapping up, let me make another quick announcement as the stage is now set. The leaders are ready as News18 Rising Bharat Summit 2025 brings to you thought-provoking conversations, groundbreaking ideas and voices shaping tomorrow at the Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi. So be there, scan the code and get your passes now. April 8th and 9th are the dates, so save it.
Brought to you by
Big statement that has been made by Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath, who has now said that people of all religions are safe in the state and that if Hindus are safe, Muslims in Uttar Pradesh are safe too. He was speaking exclusively to news agency ANI, where Yogi Adityanath asserted that as a yogi, he wishes for everyone's happiness and highlighted the tolerant nature of Hindus, saying that a Muslim family would feel safe among hundreds of Hindu families. However, 50 Hindu families might not feel safe among hundreds of Muslim families, and that Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Pakistan are examples of the same. Meanwhile, the opposition has now hit out at Yogi Adityanath, calling this an attempt to divert attention from real issues. Let's listen in to the latest war of words first.
100 हिंदू परिवारों के बीच में 100 हिंदू परिवारों के बीच में एक मुस्लिम परिवार सबसे सुरक्षित रहता है। उसको इसके पर्व और त्योहारों को, उसको अपने सभी मजहबी कर्मों को करने के लिए, या जिस मत और मजहब या संप्रदाय या सेक्ट का अनुयायी होगा उसको उस परंपरा के अनुसार अपने सारे